Morning, everyone. How are we all this morning? I hope we're all well. But look, see who's in. Stephen Bank here, Kirsty Hamilton, Stephen Nicol, Ackies, Lorraine Logue. Well, Lorraine. Who else we got? Scott Haynes, June Dalrymple, Mark Telfer. See Jamie Dodgers in the house. Pete's Music, Scott Haynes, Rosie McGregor, Charles Dockery, back down again. Hi, Gillian. Gillian's got a box on the go that if you purchase it, the money comes to the Two Davies Food Bank Fund. So if you're interested, contact Gillian. Hi, Aunt. John Dockery, Harry Bendix. Hi, Harry. I'm glad to see you're home. Melanie. Right, let's get this one underway, shall we? It's Andy Truck Davy out the truck and at home in his office, the 10th of the 12th, 2025, where it is, I don't know, a wee bit different this morning, much brighter anyway, but still a damp morning. Warm, 88 degrees. Today's high will be 11. There is rain in the forecast, so brolly or jacket when you're out. Humidity's at 81%. Wind speed, sort of 15 to 35 mile an hour. And the pollen count doesn't count at 0. Okay. Right, first up this morning, folks, is their answer, and you know I don't put it up, but what's their answer got for us today? It's got Di and Dad's travel. Visa torment. Please let me spend last Xmas with my wee girl. Scott's DJ. Bali-based daughter 4. Unable to fly in. Terminally ill DJ. Alan O'Grady. Has forked out 10 grand to get his kids over for his last Christmas on the planet. But he's struggling to get a visa for the Home Office to bring the children in. Now, I've no idea who the fella is. I've absolutely no idea his family circumstances or why they should be in Bali and he's here in Scotland. I have no idea why that would be. But come on, Home Office. 'Tis the season to be. And goodwill to all men and all that sort of thing. Come on, get a grip. Give the boy's family a visa and let them say goodbye, Christ. Right, next up we've got the Herald. What's the Herald got for us today? The Herald has University of the Year to axe 76 jobs in funding gap. Angry staff consider next move. Right. As Strathclyde University pushes to save 35 million quid. Now, what's really behind this, folks? Well, what's really behind this is fucking stupidity, is what's behind it. These institutions' funding models were all constructed around the idea that there'd be students coming in from Europe and the rest of the world. But Brexit kiboshed the Europe thing, and of course the tightening on visa rules means there's less people coming in for the rest of the world and all, which means that these institutions of higher learning funding models don't work anymore. And that will see these institutions of higher learning suffer. Really suffer. Because the funding model they were working to has been blown right out of the water with the voting intentions of the people next door and in Wales. And then, of course, we've got the screaming far right down that road wanting to clamp down on immigration, so visa rules tightened up for international students from the rest of the world. Time for independence. Honest to God. You couldn't make it up. This is what we talk about when we talk about placing economic sanctions on ourselves, or the people next door placing economic sanctions on us. It means that our institutions of higher learning will suffer. And that means a dumbing down of the population and less cultural interaction with people from other parts of the world. Bloody tragic. Absolutely tragic. Next up, we have the Scotsman. What's the Scotsman got for us this morning? Oh, it's going to be one of them mornings, isn't it? This one's a stormer and all. Key education pledge would take 133 years at present rate. Now, what's this on about? It's on about the attainment gap. Now, let's talk about the term attainment gap. If we want to eliminate the attainment gap, it won't take 133 years. It'll take one signature on a piece of legislation banning anything but state schools. It worked in Finland. It'll work here. Why do we have an education attainment gap? Because people with money can afford to buy better education for their kids. Take that inequality out of the system, and that ends your attainment gap, because everybody attains the same educational institutions. No, a big problem, but 133 years at present rate. I've never heard so much bollocks in all my life, folks. I've been on this planet for 58 years, and I don't recognise the education system today compared to the education system which I was educated in. Different qualifications, different curriculum, different guidance for teachers on how to go about their business. And that's only in the 58 years I've been on the planet. But if you want to eliminate the attainment gap, the answer is quite simple. Get rid of these private institutions that are educating for money, and make everybody go to the same educational institutions and plough more money into state education. Once again, but in order to be able to do that, we require independence. Because we could just get rid of private education here in Scotland. We could do that. But we can't throw the additional funding into state education, because that's controlled elsewhere. That's controlled in a parliament 475 miles away from me, where me and my people have no fucking say. None whatsoever. So 2 education stories to start off the day, and neither of them good, and neither of them we can actually do very much about. Next up, I think it's a fail. We'll have a wee look. Yep, a daily fail. Asylum fiasco without end. Now, apparently, devastating report from Whitehall watchdog finds Home Office doesn't know how many asylum seekers have absconded or true cost of system to taxpayer. Apart from this being designed to throw red meat to the fucking gammons and racists, also can't be true. They might not be sure how many have absconded, but I doubt that. But one thing is for sure, they know what the system costs. Somebody's signing the checks, stroke, hitting the keyboard to make the digital fucking transfer. So there is a paper trail stroke digital trail on how much the system is costing. But asylum fiasco without end. We've just been talking about how they've clamped down on fucking visas. And I love this term, illegal immigration. If it was illegal, how come none of these people are fucking locked up? Or are they technically in the wee asylum centres where they can't go anywhere else? They can't work in the local communities, but as far as they can reach on the £2 a week they're getting to keep themselves. Aye. But what a lot of nonsense. Asylum fiasco without end. I'll tell you something, folks, as we get further into this, I've read a couple of reports today that make your fucking hair stand on end, including the UK PM asking other European leaders to clamp down on human rights. But we'll get there. Down with the fail. And I mean that on a permanent fucking basis. Next up's the Looney Rag the Express. And this is mere meat to the fucking racist gammons. This stuff is not on. And I mean not on. The Express. As two teenage Afghan asylum seekers who arrived on a Channel small boat are jailed for raping a 15-year-old girl in a British park, the Express says, how many more sexual assaults will it take until this government does something to stop our women and girls being thrown to the wolves? And on the front page, we've got a picture of a couple of teenage kids. Just a couple of teenage kids. But see, if they were white teenage kids, that wouldn't have made the front page of this fucking paper. That would have been regional news. But they're no white teenage kids. I wonder how many white men carried out a sexual assault on the same day or the same week as these two stupid wee boys. Because look at them, they're just kids. They're just teenagers themselves. This is mere red meat to the racist fucking gammons. Mere demonising of the poor souls that arrive on our shores broken, looking for refuge. These two are an outlier. If you look at the general amount of people who have come here seeking asylum, these are just the tiniest of minorities amongst them. There are bad people amongst us all, no matter what colour you are. But that's what this is. This is divide and rule. This is actually the fracturing of society deliberately. And the question is going to be why? Why? Just a couple of kids who've made a mistake. Next up, we got Tory graph. Bardella, I will stop the boats. And this is the right-wing loony who's front runner to become president of France. And she's in talks with Farage, who she expects to take power in the UK soon, on stopping the wee boats. Seems pretty confident that she's going to win. Seems pretty confident that Farage will very soon be the Prime Minister here. As to the person in the picture, I have no fucking idea who that is. None. Times are getting scary, folks. Times are getting scary right across Europe. I see Trump sided by Putin in the Ukraine affair. Next up, we get the National. The National has energy shake-up will reshape the future of Scotland. Yeah. Think about that. Post-Indy plans could transform economy, apparently. Decorating the fucking house before we've got the keys is not something Davey wants to get into. But I guess we're trying to sell a vision. So cheaper electricity would help transform the economy, and it would. And of course, at this point in time, cheaper oil and gas would help to transform the economy. These are things that are true. They're very true. We would do things differently in an independent Scotland. Bear that in mind, folks. Will it be easy? No, we'll have market fight back and everything. Can it be done? You're fucking right it can. You're right it can. But as I say, decorating the house before you've got the keys. But that's fine, because we are trying to sell a vision. A vision of a better future, a better Scotland, where the people who live here make the decisions that are important to us and affect us, rather than being done and being made in a parliament 475 miles away from me in a fucking foreign land. And get that fixed clearly in your head, folks. We are being charged rent to live in our land by a foreign fucking land. So, Larry, I'm glad you popped in, because you made the headlines this morning, dear boy. We'll get there. But aye, taking charge of our energy and taking charge of everything else through independence will give us a chance to do something differently. Will we get it all right? No first crack, no. Will it be a land of milk and honey? No. Will it be difficult? Aye. Will it be worth it? You're fucking right it will. How do you know? Because I've been in this fucking fight for years. I have vision for my land. Okay. Right, let's move on. Next up, we'll get Merrill. What nonsense did it go for us today? Oh, better get rid of the National. Right, here we go. We've only got a couple more papers to go, folks. The reason behind that, Scottish Papers reviews have left out the Eye and the Sun, and I didn't go and get them. Maybe should have. Right. The Metro. Trump lashes out at weak Europe. And Mayor Khan gets another roasting from Prez. So Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, for some reason Trump doesn't like him. And Trump lashes out at weak Europe as he sides with Russia in the Ukraine conflict. Couldn't make it up. You could not make this up. So-called greatest ally. We've got a security pact with this guy. He's dictating our foreign policy. He's dictating our foreign policy. It was handed out to him by Starmer at the beginning of the Labour administration. And here he is lashing out at weak Europe. Is he going to join Putin in rampaging across Europe? Interesting. Next up, we'll get a Guardian. You're not going to believe this one. This is worse than the French president frontrunner expecting Farage to be prime minister on these islands pretty soon. But wait, you see this fucking one. This one's going to blow the fucking top off your nuts. Excuse me being a wee bit cursy today. PM urges Europe to curb human rights laws to halt rise of populism. So, in order to stop populism, you have to play to their fucking... you have to play to their textbook. Let me rewrite this. Fascist UK Premier urges Europe to curb human rights law to halt rise of population. Fascist UK PM. You see where this is going, folks? When Europe says no, then of course that puts the ECHR in the lap of Starmer to do something with. Will Labour drag us out of the European Convention on Human Rights? Well, you get right down to it. This Labour Party has been a warmongering, thieving shower of shites, suppressing the people of these islands and transferring vast amounts of wealth, much more than the Tories ever managed, out of the UK economy into private hands. This Labour Party have done more to curtail workers' rights than Thatcher ever managed. And it's also a warmongering fucking Labour Party. Blair and Starmer both being war criminals. But here we go. PM urges Europe to curb human rights. And if they don't, play to his tune, his right-wing populist fascist fucking tune, then that parliament down the road there is going to scrap our human rights and introduce a British Bill of Rights, which will give us very little rights, because we've seen how they've already abused the law. We were warned back in 1997, 1998, when the 2000 Terrorism Act was introduced, when it was being debated, that this act could be used to clamp down on legitimate protest, and it has been. We've seen the Police Crimes Courts and Sentencing Act down that road, enabling police on spurious reasons to cut down on protest, to clamp down on protest. There are, believe it or not, activists in UK jails right now on hunger strike, close to death, being ignored by the Westminster government. What was their crime? They haven't fucking committed any of their own remand. Being ignored under the 2000 Terrorism Act for being members of a direct action protest movement. Direct action has never been illegal. A bit like when David and I have been carrying out civil disobedience campaigns down through the years. They're no illegal. They're legitimate forms of protest. Peaceful protest. And yet we've got people on hunger strike in UK jails being ignored by the press, being ignored by the government, and close to death. Well, they haven't been convicted of anything, folks. Not a bloody thing. They're on remand. Just slammed in the slammer without due process. You couldn't make it up, but it's fucking true. It is true. And yet it's no in the press. So Larry, heads up, this one's for you. This next one's for you, dear boy. Next up, the Star. As I say, we've no eye and we've no scum a day. Number 10 cat, Rusky Spy. Vlad's pussy galore. Now, it would appear that Sir Larry didn't take to Zelensky. So rubbered him. And now he's been accused of being a Russian spy. I don't believe that for a second, that Sir Larry is a Russian spy. I mean, we know he's an active agitator and shows his approval or disapproval of the politicians who pass through his home by leaving wee gifts in their shoes. But he's definitely not a Russian spy. I'm not having Sir Larry being a Russian spy. Oh, Sir Larry, in this forum you get a chance to defend yourself, dear boy. An explanation in the comments would be helpful. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So it's not just David and I who make it to the front pages of the newspaper. Apparently Sir Larry the cat makes it to the front pages of the newspaper too. Oh, but I love it. The picture of Sir Larry in the James Bond outfit with the tie undone, the gun in the hand. Vlad's pussy galore. Brilliant, Sir Larry. You made the front pages, dear boy. Not the first time you made the front pages. Not the first time David and I made the front pages either, actually. That's beside the point. Oh. Right, folks, I better bugger off and let Eat get his programme started. So, for Charlie the cat, Sir Larry the cat, and me, you look after yourself, all right? Oh, announcements before you go, folks. On the Friday before Christmas, that will be the last broadcast until Christmas Day. I'm having the Christmas week off, except for the Christmas Day broadcast, which will start at 12 o'clock and go on for as long as it goes on. Last year it ran to 5:30. So give everybody a chance to pop in, say hello, and things like that. Hopefully get a few of the other vloggers that you all watch on as well. We'll see. I'll try and organise something. But so that week, the Christmas week, folks, Monday to Friday that week, because there's nothing in the papers anyway, I'll be taking that week off. There'll just be the Christmas show that week. So on the Friday, the week before Christmas, that'll be the last broadcast of Christmas Day. Okay. Because, as City Flyer and a few people have said, when you start to lose your edge because you're starting to get pissed off with what you see, it's time to step back and take a break. I haven't taken a break in years. So, for the Christmas week, there'll only be one broadcast, and that'll be the Christmas Day show. You look after yourself. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30, to do it all again, and I'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 4 to have a different take, to have a different look at it from different angles, okay? And we'll also be looking at the political philosophy, because that's what we've been doing in our last few programmes. That is neoliberalism. And I wanted to talk about where neoliberalism is actually being executed, carried out, if you like, here on these islands. So, see you tomorrow morning. Don't be late. You'll be on the naughty step. Bye for now.